Oh, snap. What's that you got on?
Yo, these new R.1s by Randy.
I'm in the future with this. I'm stepping on top of the world. These are the new R.1s by Rampage. Order right now. Land to land, sea to sea, state to state. These are official. Don't wait. The R.1s by Rampage. Rated R Empire. Yep.
Hey, get your pair right now by going into the description box and clicking the link at the top line of the description box. Tell them your boy Old God and Sandman from the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast sent you.
Worker, quote unquote.
I want to talk about Dave Chappelle. Now, he did a skit, or he did a monologue on Saturday Night Live a few days ago, had everybody talking. I thought it was a dope piece of work. We seen the leader from the ADL make a statement today or yesterday, I believe. He said, we shouldn't expect Dave Chappelle to serve as society's moral compass, but disturbing to see NBC SNL not just normalize, but popularize hashtag antisemitism. Why are Jewish sensitivities denied or diminished at almost every turn? Why does our trauma trigger a pause? Now, I'm not sure if you saw the monologue, but if you did, how did you feel about it? And do you express the same sentiments as Mr. Greenblatt?
No, I probably agree with him on almost nothing, but not to take away from him. I personally saw a little bit of it, and I think Dave Chappelle's hilarious. He's such a funny guy. If you look at like South Park, it's a comedy show made by Jews, but in it they use such derogatory Jew hate terms, dirty Jew, Jewish money. They threw out these words. The ADL never said anything to them, It's a bunch of Jewish guys who were writing it. They never said anything. All of a sudden, now you see Dave Chappelle come out. It was actually funny, and probably a lot of it was he was saying was true. So what's causing these guys to get so triggered? It's a good question. I think the main fear is putting Jewish safety at risk, because there's places now where Jews are getting attacked at random in America for being a Jew, punched in the face, their hats knocked off. And we're trying to prevent that. So with so much trauma, it's like the analogy I gave before, the lady who used to get, hit by the husband. When she drops something, she's scared it's going to get hit. So now when she drops something, let's say the husband changed his way, she's still going to flinch. She's still going to get very scared, because in her brain is the pattern that when you do X, Y will, Z, Y and Z will happen. So these people are like, and it was a little insensitive at the time, when the Jewish people are like, whoa, stop talking about us and mixing us with, other groups of evil people. We don't want to be mixed together with that. Then Dave Chappelle just come up right on there and start to like stoke the coals. It looks like they're pushing the divide and conquer strategy. It looks like there's an agenda that wants to create a separation between my community and your community. And for me, that's like the red flag. So I'm like smelling through all this nonsense. I'm like getting to the bottom of it. And I'm like, why don't they want us to talk and collaborate? Something's going on.
Do you think people within the ADL or in higher Hollywood, whatever the case may be, have a disdain towards black people? Because as I watched that, something that really stuck out to me was he said nigga twice on there, on SNL, on NBC, and they let that fly. People were losing their minds laughing. But when he made jokes about the Jewish community, everybody was up in arms. Everybody was upset. And we're all supposed to be leading a cause against hate. But it seems like it's a very specific, generalized part and section of hate that we need to generalize, and everything else is all right, fair game. What do you think about that?
Well, let me just put it. I have two things. One is, let's say I start dropping the N-word, right? Not okay. I don't have permission to do that. It's not allowed. It's not okay.
Neither should I, and I shouldn't have said it either. It shouldn't be accepted through anybody, but we know how
Okay, I like that, and I agree with that, but it happens to be today culturally from your community. It's allowed, it's there, and it's understood, and it's accepted that this is a word that gets used. So, for example, sometimes I go to the airport, and I'm going through the security, and, when you get to the security at the airport, there's a lot of pennies on the floor. So people emptying out their pockets. So I'm always like picking up pennies on the floor over there, because I bring it to Jerusalem and I give charity. Every penny is a mitzvah. It's a commandment. You're doing a good deed with it. So I enjoy picking up the pennies. But when everyone looks at me, I'm always making a joke. Like, you always got the classic Jewish guy picking up pennies on the floor, and I'll make a joke about myself, because you could do that because I'm Jewish. No one's going to get triggered by it. But if an African-American guy was like, oh, you Jews picking up pennies, it's like, wait a minute, can you say that? So I think it goes both ways. I can't start saying N-words, and other people can't start making Jewish penny jokes. Everyone can make, criticize their own selves or their own communities. But I think that's silly also. We shouldn't have an ego. My feelings shouldn't have to be hurt if you have something to say about us. but it's all fun and games until it becomes, physical violence towards Jews. Then it's like we're just so much trauma. We're not having any of it. So I think the ADL is probably protecting a beast that the Jewish people communicate and miscommunicate as themselves. Like the Jewish people are like, oh, the ADL is here for me. ADL is not here for you, Jewish people. They're protecting something much bigger. They just, the name Jew is just covering both realities, the thing they're protecting and you simple folk who are just trying to make a living and stay humble.